Hey everybody, Sean Dawson here from Julie Harris Realty with your December 2021 update. This will be my last update for the year, so Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. As always with every month, I'm going to be talking about the new monthly indices recently released by Corelogic. That's of course the indices in relation to November 2021. I'm also going to break into a few properties that we have recently listed and we regard as kind of feature properties, and then I'll kind of round it out with a bit of a spotlight on a couple of the suburbs that we've been most active in this year. I know we get repetitive on this every month, but here we go. The indices for November 2021 as published 2 days ago by Corelogic. So straight into it, our market of course is Brisbane. The change year on year, so the difference between November 2021 and November 20 for all properties across Brisbane, up 25.12%, and then the difference between month on month, so October 2021 and November 2021, up 2.88% for all properties. Houses, so the difference between November and November, the change for freehold homes, up 27.93%, and then the month on month, so the difference between October and November this year for homes, up 3.2%, and then units, so townhouses, apartments, villas, etc., year on year, so November 2020 to November 2021, the difference in those 2 months, up 11.4%, and then the change for the month on month, so October to November this year, the difference for units, townhouses, up 1.10%. So generally in keeping with what we've been seeing for the last 6 or 7 months at least at this point. Again, Darwin down in a couple of those segments, but in each segment less than 0.5%, so perhaps nothing to be too worried about. I wanted to talk about a couple of properties that we've recently listed. So Julie and I have recently put on this lovely standalone townhouse, but a character house at 39 Weston Street in Coorparoo. Now this is a previous pre-war character home that would have previously occupied a 405 block. It's been subdivided at some point. The house itself moved forward onto the block, and then 3 townhouses built in the Battle Axe block behind. The 3 townhouses behind are all modern builds, whereas they've retained the character for the original house. Now the block is just shy of 300 square metres. It has its own individual street address, 39 Weston Street. It's been lifted up, it's been renovated inside, upstairs and downstairs, legal height downstairs, 4 bedrooms, most character features retained upstairs, breezeways, VJ walls, rake ceilings, wraparound balcony, parking for a single car in the garage lockup and a driveway in front, kitchen upstairs, a kitchenette downstairs, and a perfect little kind of micro block that might suit the person who's looking for that character in Coorparoo at a more affordable price, but not willing to take on the responsibility of looking after a full-size block. It is technically on strata. Body corp fees are quite reasonable. They're about $1,150 per year. So in a lot of instances, that's essentially a quarter of what you might pay for something similar elsewhere in the suburb. We have received offers on this property, but we are taking it to tender with best and final offers to be received to us by this Monday, 5 p.m. So if you are interested, come along to see Open Home this weekend. It would sure to be a cracker. The next one is, well, this is now under contract with 33 Fleetway Street. Now this is a home that I've recently put under contract in an off-market scenario. We only showed 3 buyers through the property. One of those buyers has obviously progressed on that home. It was previously marketed about 2.5 years ago via another local area agent. At the time, the seller of the home was chasing at least $850,000. They couldn't receive anything within that vicinity at the time. I've recently put it under contract for $1.1 million after only 3 buyers seeing it. Quite sure that had we taken it to auction early next year, it probably would have received more, but my seller wasn't greedy and he instructed me to sell it to that seller. Just a signifier of what's going on in the market in most areas in Brisbane at the moment. 2 years has made that seller more than $200,000. So again, we know this market is pretty crazy at the moment, but in particular freehold homes within a 10-kilometre vicinity to Brisbane City are seeing all of those kind of increases. And then I suppose Mount Gravatt East. Now our office is in Mount Gravatt East. We focus a fair bit of our effort in Mount Gravatt East. A colleague of mine, Tim, he's recently put on a property on Coolong Street. Now this is a gigantic double block home Really well finished, really beautiful. If you are interested in this property, I would advise that you contact him and get along to his open homes this weekend. We do expect that property to sell very quickly leading into Christmas. Now, just in relation to those three suburbs, I will just wrap up what's happened in terms of figures for those three. So in terms of overall growth for the last 12 months, so this isn't the same as the indices that we look at with Corelogic, where they break down the differences between month one year and a month the next year, or month to month in the same year. This is the general increase across the entire 12 months for both houses and units in each of these suburbs. So Morningside, houses in that suburb from November last year to November this year have seen a 30.6% increase in value. I think this year Morningside tapped into the median $1 million market for freehold homes. Units have seen an 11.4% increase. Coorparoo, houses for that same period have seen an increase of 33.7% across the board for freehold homes, and then units have seen an increase of 17.4%, which is quite a bit above the national median increase for strata properties. And then Mount Gravatt East, where we are, our office is, houses across the suburb have seen an increase, freehold houses, of 33.5%, with units, townhouses, etc., seeing an increase of 13.8%. The median value for freehold homes at the moment in Mount Gravatt East isn't quite at $1 million. It's hovering just above $900,000, but if it keeps going the way it is, we do expect to see it crack that $1 million mark probably in the next 6 months. Definitely one of those suburbs to keep an eye on. I might wrap it up with that. Thank you very much to everyone for being so friendly and open to me this year in the industry. It has been definitely a very strange year to be a real estate agent. I'll leave it at that. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. See you in 2022.